This is a review install of this. It's a bathroom faucet. Bathroom faucet made by BWE. It's a waterfall single hole bathroom faucet. That's important that you know that it's a single hole. If you're replacing a faucet that has two handles, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. This particular one is in matte black, and doing a little bit of an unboxing here. I've already taken the plastics off of these, off of the ports of the faucet. Just want you to see, comes with a some Teflon tape. Need it when you're hooking your faucet up underneath the sink. I love these single push stoppers for the sink. Really nice, much better than the stoppers that you have to pull on the little metal lever in the back of the sink. These single stoppers work much better. Comes with its hot and cold hookups. These are really nice. The type of hookup for the faucet itself is super nice. The little O-rings there that just pops in there, and then your standard connector has its O-ring on the inside already. Comes with a plate. If you're replacing a dual handle faucet where hot and cold are separate, this plate will cover those holes for you. This is a single hole faucet. It's designed, the hole goes right in the middle. Really nice and beautiful, modern, hot and cold emblems right there on top. Very easy to install. We'll show that shortly. You may have to cut a center hole on your sink if you don't already have a center hole faucet. So this faucet is really well made, very heavy. It's beautiful, matte black. It comes with instructions for the stopper, and it also comes with instructions for the install of the faucet, which we'll be going over shortly. So we're going to show you what we are replacing with this, and how we're going to do it, and then we'll give you a nice demonstration. I want you to look at this. I love its design. Shows the spout. It comes out and it just pours out over the end. Really nice, really modern. I think we're going to love it. This is the faucet that we're replacing. It's actually a nice faucet, and it also has the single stopper down here below. But it's old, and it has got a lot of watermarks on it, etc. And we're wanting to replace it. So you can see we're going to have to put this plate to cover these two holes. And I'm not sure until I take it off. We're probably going to have to drill a hole in the center for this. The hole only needs to be big enough for this little guy to go through and to be able to stick these two cables through. So not that big of a hole that needs to be drilled, but does need to be drilled though, right? So we're going to now take this thing apart and get ready to install the new one. I wanted you to see under the sink what we're going to be replacing. So we're going to be disconnecting that hose and disconnecting this one over here and running the two new ones through. Now we can see here I've already have a center hole over here, and you can see it up there. So hopefully everything will fit through that with no problem. Otherwise, I'll have to widen it. But I think it's going to fit just fine. I got myself a couple of pair of channel locks and an adjustable wrench or crescent wrench. Should be all I need. Let you know if I need something else. Get the job done. So the first thing we're going to do is turn the water off at both your valves, of course. And then I'm going to take my channel locks and I am going to loosen this bolt here, this nut. It's the one holding the stopper, what I call a stopper, a little plunger there. So we're going to have to pull that out and replace it. And we also have to unscrew this one. This is the old one coming off. Let's see which way. There we go. You gotta make sure you're turning it right, of course. All right, with that loose, I'll be able to pull this thing right up through the top. Now, you can see I have a bow here. There's really no way of getting around a little bit of water. I have a towel down here. Make sure you set it up that way as well. So we're gonna pull this off from up top. Trying to get you a look at it here in the sink. So this old stopper is just going to pull right out, just like that. The other parts are going to go down below, and we're going to clean that up. And that's why we're going to put the new stopper. Now on this new stopper, you're just going to undo this big bolt here, big nut, I'm sorry, and take the washer and also remove this gasket. This is what's going to go up against your sink, right? So when you put it back up on there, you got to make sure that the bevel side is pointing up. You put the washer underneath it, just like that, and then that bolt's going to slide up and tighten this up against the bottom of your sink. That's the way that works. This has a gasket right up here on top. So we're just going to push this right through the hole. And when I pull up from the bottom, it's going to tighten it in there and she's just going to work like a charm. So down below, this is what this is going to look like. You're going to have put your plastic nut on the shaft. So this, obviously this lifts up like this, right, all the way up. And when you put it in, make sure you put your beveled washer on first, then your metal washer, then the nut that's going to tighten all this up, and then you slip this PVC plastic nut on the shaft as well, because you're using that to retighten it down to your piping. So basically, you're just going to shove this washer up like so, and then bring this nut all the way up. Make sure you align it on top before you tighten down, and then you just sort of snug this. Remember, this has washers, so it don't over tighten it. You're just going to be snugging it down and making sure it's got a good grip, and then you can just check it for leaks. All right, so we took our faucet off. We're gonna have to clean this up, of course. And you can see it's a 3-hole, and the plate will cover that up nicely, exposing the 1 hole there, and we'll snap in the 2 lines. And hopefully they'll go through with no problem, but if not, we'll have to widen the hole just a tad. We'll have to see on that. But that's how that works. That's what that plate is for, if you're doing a dual faucet. So we're going to clean this up before we install it. Okay, when it comes to installing the faucet, my hole's going to be big enough, so I just ran the 2 lines through that center hole. Of course, I have to put this this plate on. Then this bolt, long bolt right here is what's holding up the bracket on the bottom. So you take this bolt completely off. That's what's going to go up underneath the sink. All right, so you're going to, it's a long one. You take that off, you pull this guy off. You got that nice rubber seal on top. You put your two hoses, hot, cold, right? Yeah. And you can, I don't know if you can see up in there or not, it'd be kind of hard, but there's two slots where these O-rings, are going to go right here. It's going to go right up in, and by the way, the hose is marked, right? Red for hot. So you're going to shove this down this pipe. You look in there and you just shove this thing in there. You'll feel it click. Oh, well, that's wrong. This thing screws on there. I'm glad I saw that. Usually they just snap in. Sorry about that. So you're going to have to screw this guy in, both of them. There's threads in there on both of these. So we'll screw them in. The O-rings will stop it from leaking. Then you shove this guy through this hole once you have the plate on. And you go up underneath and you slip this one up like so that it's around, the same direction as the base. And that goes up and screws right up on here, and it'll tighten this faucet down up against this base like this. Except this will be underneath, of course. And you'll see it just tightened right up against that. Now, before you tighten it too much, you want to make sure that you look up and make sure your faucet's not like this or this, right? You want to straighten that up and then give it a good tightening so it holds in place. Now, I haven't tightened it yet, but this is somewhat what it's going to look like. So I have my two hoses, cold, hot on the right side, and the little iron rod there going through, and it's going to sit on that plate. So I'm going to get up under there and put the bracket on, and then I'm going to attach my my lines, and we'll give this thing a test. You'll have to excuse the fact that I'm videoing this not in landscape, but normal, vertical. All right, so you can see the two hoses coming through the hole, and the screw is back there. So what we do is we take this piece that holds the two hoses like this, and you push this bracket. I'm sorry, I have that upside down. You want the rubber to go up. You push this bracket up on this hose, the bolt, so that the nut can screw on it. Okay, we're done. This is the two water lines, hot, cold, fastened, no leaks. We have up underneath, let me get this out of the way. You see the plate fastened tightly up against the bottom of the sink using the big, the long nut that they give us, pulling it in tight. We have the washer up against the bottom of the sink, held on by the nut over the shaft. And we have faucet. Sorry about that. You see a nice little water flow there. The faucet, you can single push, hold the water, turn her off, let her out, and it's beautiful.